On this week's episode of Superior Angling TV, we continue on our ice camping adventure. With base camp all set up and a lot of the hard work behind us, now it's time to get baits in the water and see what this lake is willing to show us. Trout are our main focus, but there are also some trophy whitefish to be found. The best thing about here, you never know how special that next catch may be. Season 7 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by Eskimo ice fishing gear.
Oh, this drag is frozen up. That's a big fish. That's a big fish. Oh, this drag's way too frozen. That's a big fish. What is happening right now? I came outside to drill my first hole and I looked at Eric's and there was a fish on the Marcum. This is that same hole, 3 fish in a row. I'm speechless. I can't even describe what's going on right now. It's got way too, oh my God, lucky. Look at this, look at this. Look at that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. These fish are on a feeding frenzy right now. Glow tube, big lake trout. I don't know, I'm speechless. 3 fish. If we caught 3 fish all day, guys, I'd be more than happy. Like, I'd be stoked. We've caught 3 in 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes right out the front door of this house. This is absolutely wild. We are being blessed with a good night's sleep, good cozy Eskimo outbreak, and lake trout. All right, well, I really don't think there's much of a need to fish any further away though from the house than than this, but we got 3 guys fishing, so we're gonna drill some holes and spread out a little bit. But that's just absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like 3 fish all day, I'd be happy from sun up to sundown. And we just caught 3 right here, like in 10 minutes. Some days you get lucky. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's pretty amazing. Let's go catch some holes. Fish, fish, fish. Fish. I'm hooked up. I'm hooked up. Come on. This is insane.
This one feels a little different too. It's keeping me a little bit, it's keeping me pinned. I'm not able to move this fish as much as the last few, so.
Isn't that funny? We drilled the hot hole right outside the house. Like, I'm still drilling in the middle of drilling holes.
Yeah, this is insane. It is a feeding frenzy right now.
We are kind of getting spoiled. I mean, truly, like, the reality of lake trout fishing through the ice, 2, 3 fish is a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day, and that just shows you how lucky we're getting right now and how truly special this is. This is it's that next caliber of fish.
Yeah, this is the next step up. I haven't got it higher than 40 feet. We got it on the Marcum there, we're kind of paying attention.
Crazy, crazy.
After I set the hook, he went on one hard run, and it's just been head shakes and basically a stalemate at 40 feet with him. And
head shakes and pancakes.
Yeah, this part scares me every time.
Even with the 10-inch hole, and especially like when a lake trout hasn't burped yet, they stay so horizontal in the water. Once they burp and lose all that air, they tilt down more vertical.
Speaking of the burps.
Yep, so there's all the burps right now. You need that for that trout to come through the hole, because that air expels, then his tail will drop down and it'll allow his head to come up on bigger fish. Oh, that's a giant,
That's
Eric.
a giant, dude.
Dude.
Here he comes, here he comes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna make sure my hands aren't in its gills.
Dude,
look at that fish, Eric.
Let's go.
Come on, buddy.
Let's go, buddy.
Come on, dude.
Oh my God.
That's a slob, an absolute slob of a lake trout.
Look at his scars, like he got bit recently.
Better than that, hey?
Wow. Look at his face.
Look at that fish. That is a huge fish, huge fish.
He's got some character on his head too.
This is so special. I'm like, this is a morning I'll remember for the rest of my life. Buddy.
No kidding.
6, 7 lake trout in 20 minutes. This is a heavy fish. We need to get her unhooked and back in the water. fish, 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 fish. They come out of nowhere and hit it so hard. This fish doesn't even really know it's hooked yet. Man, is that an adrenaline rush. Here's my leader, probably a little bit smaller fish. Look at that. That is so cool. That'd be a good dinner fish there, hey? That'd be a really good dinner fish. Couple pounder, white tubes. Man, look at that. That's cool. What a fish, what a trout, huh? Magical, absolutely magical. Wow. Boom.
Look at that. Doubled up. We're trying to make coffees. Wow. Unreal.
Fish, 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 fish. This is crazy. This is crazy action. It just doesn't stop. I've never seen anything like this before. It just doesn't stop. Look at that. That there's a cool lake trout. That's got character. Tail's all beat up there, really dark in color. Chunky fish, eh? Very chunky fish. This is so much fun. Words just can't describe. What a fish, what a fish. This is what we live for. You dream about doing this stuff all year round. And here we are doing it. Let's get her back. Boom. So kind of one thing that we've been doing all day is slowly just stoking the Esker wood stove. And it's got really nice dampers on it. So like, I think we've kept it like 60 degrees in there all day long, burning very, very minimal amounts of wood. So we can put one or, two of these in at a time, and that'll heat it for, maybe an hour, hour and a half. So, it's paid huge dividends bringing some wood out here. I mean, as you can see, there's not a whole lot around here. So I didn't envision us kind of continuously heating this all day, but it's been very, very cold. And it's just nice to go back in here, throw a couple logs in and just have it warm, a controlled temperature all day long. So, eventually we may run out of wood, maybe by tomorrow or on, or the next day, but, we can go scrounge up some wood to get us by for a day or so. But for now, we're just gonna continuously feed, 1 to 2 pieces at a time into that Esker stove to keep her nice and warm in there. This is like, remember in like Home Alone 2, like we did it again. Yes, we slept in again and Eric came out to drill a hole for water again and caught a trout again. Unbelievable, buddy.
We drilled the hole, put the transducer in, dropped the line in, just had the tube jig sitting halfway up. We start scooping water for the jet boil, and here comes the mark shooting from the bottom.
It's just, there's 2 fish down there,
Two
man.
fish down there. The second one's charging it right now.
I can't believe we slept in again, to be honest. Like, we had a little mishap last night that we'll talk about here shortly, but with the wood stove, but that cut an hour out of our sleep at like 2 a.m., but we should be fishing right now while you are, I guess. I'm gonna skip breakfast, I think.
Yeah, I'll make breakfast for you guys. I'll intermittently check my line.
Oh man, I can't believe we did it again. You were so tired and out of it still, you put your line down the 8-inch hole, not the 10.
Yeah, well, I was on it.
Yeah, we are all half asleep. There's your leader.
There he is.
Nice fish. Look at that. In the slippers once again, the sweatpants. This is crazy.
Oh man.
Day number 2, pajamas, lake trout. Like,
unreal.
Let's get this fish down. You done getting water out of this hole? If not, we're gonna have a little trout slime to it. Oh! All right, so let's go over kind of what happened last night, and I bet it's already as apparent as an elephant standing next to me here, and that's the fry pan on top of the stove pipe here. So kind of what happened, 3 a.m. You know, it got a little chilly in there, and you know, the fire was completely out from us stoking it at 9 p.m. before we fell asleep. Just wanted to get some warmth going in there, so we lit the fire, got a fire going. But like right as we did that, a big wind came from this direction, and it was shooting. That wind was just barreling down the stovepipe, and it literally smoked us out of the tent. Right, like it was kind of bad. So we had to open up all the doors, air the whole thing out, and then figure out how to wire this fry pan on the stovepipe at 3 a.m. when we're all half asleep. So hey, we got it done, and it worked. It worked really good. So that is one thing that we forgot to bring, is something for the end of the pipe for that wind. I mean, it's just at the perfect angle too, just to go right down it. It just didn't allow the stove to breathe, to vent at all, and it was all venting into the ice house. So that kept us up for about an hour last night, but once we got that figured out, we let that fire rip in there, and it was nice and toasty, warm, and comfortable. So, so yeah, just lesson learned. Again, first time doing this, so I'm glad we had the fry pan. Looks pretty cool. All right, so we're just gonna sit here and jig and sip our morning coffee. It doesn't get any better than this, I'll tell you that. So I think what our plan for today is to finish up some coffee and have a little breakfast at the hole here, and then fish lake trout for the first 2 hours of the morning here, and then I want to go explore a little bit, and then whether that's depending on how that goes, maybe try to find a whitefish or a new lake trout spot or just something like that. So yesterday it was very, very good fishing here for the first half of the day, so I think we're gonna try to replicate that a little bit in some sense, but then do some exploring as that sun gets a little bit higher. With that big wind that came in overnight, it brought some warm temps. Like yesterday at this time, it was like -30, but right now it's actually pretty dang warm. So we're gonna take full advantage of that. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. So hopefully we're gonna see some beautiful fish. But for now, we're gonna sip some warm coffee and take in this beautiful sunrise, and it doesn't get any more peaceful. Mark. Dude, that mark is like a foot thick and it moves so slow. That was the big one. Fish, fish, fish.
Here we go.
This is what moving's all about. This is what moving is all about. Finding new spots. Found 50, 60 feet of water. And
Ooh.
Josh hooked up here. Feel like a good one?
Yeah, it does feel like a good fish.
Come right off bottom?
Came right off bottom. It was a good mark. It was a little sluggish at first, but once I got it past its comfort zone, he hit it pretty good.
Heck yeah, man. So cool. I just love exploring, doing new things. A lot of times you don't catch fish, but that's how you learn. That's how you, you know, become a better angler. I thought that fish got off.
Me too. Yeah, it's just the best feeling ever when you try a new spot and you get hooked up, you know?
Just don't know what to expect, and that's,
ooh.
It's a holy whitefish, dude. Oh. Look at that whitefish. That's the prized catch.
Nice.
That's a big whitey, man. I love it. I'm more excited this is a whitefish than a lake trout. I love whitefish. They're the best eating, dude. And look at that. That's a big whitefish. Nice catch, buddy.
So cool.
That's awesome. He'd race up off bottom and hit you like a trout.
Literally exactly like a trout. Acted like one and everything.
We're gonna keep this guy because that is good eating right there. Fish, 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 fish. It's gonna be another whitefish, boys. This is gonna be another whitefish. Look at that. These are truly one of my favorite fish to catch through the ice. Like, that's no exaggeration. Lake trout are fun. Lake trout are probably my favorite, but these are a very, very close second. All right, now I have 2 rods by my side. You know, we have our standard Northland level head predator tube right here, specifically for lake trout. But whitefish, you know, if you get a really aggressive whitefish, it'll eat that big tube. But a small white spoon, you know, that's all you need for whitefish. No bait on it, no nothing, right? Just a small little white spoon rigged up on the same, you know, Apex Predator rod. A lake trout will devour this bait, right? But you also get the bonus of having whitefish hit this as well. So right now, you know, my attention is directly diverted for, you know, towards whitefish for the next, you know, hour or so here, and hopefully we can pluck off a couple more and then we can get back to trout fishing. But I'm excited to take some whitefish home. And again, they're one of my favorite fish to eat, especially in the winter months. Man, this one's shooting off bottom. Got him. That is incredible. The way how fast it moved, it kind of felt, or it kind of looked like a lake trout, but it's not. It's gonna be another big whitefish. They look identical to a trout on your graph. They move so fast. This is a heavy one here. This is a really heavy one. Such an underrated fish in my mind. Such an underrated fish. There's my leader. I'm excited to see what this is gonna, like how big this one's gonna be. Oh, that's a horse. That's an absolute horse. Look at that thing. My goodness. That is a big, big whitefish. Huge, huge, couple pounds. And they're just thick along the back too. And look at that. I mean, that's not like, that's an aggressive eat, right? Like that spoon's down his throat. So these fish just fly around that water column. They're always usually come off bottom, right? They love to be on bottom. Just the way their mouths are, they're kind of angled down more. So they love to be on bottom. So keep your eye, you know, you turn the zoom window on one of your Marcums and bring that zoom window down to bottom and you can watch these guys. Like pretty much every single time your whitefish are gonna come right off bottom. And that fish saw my jig, or saw my white spoon coming from like 40 feet away. They can see a long ways and they are aggressive. And that is another beautiful whitefish on the ice, and that's gonna be some good dinner.
Hooked up to an absolute monster, and this mark just came screaming up off the bottom. And I've got a lighter weight rod here because we were kind of targeting the whitefish. And I'm pretty underpowered, but it's definitely not a whitefish. Ooh, there he gave me that first resistance. There he goes. Ooh, oh my gosh. This thing is being crazy erratic. He'll give me big digs and then he'll swim back up and back down. Man, this is what's fun about fishing in an area with whitefish. You're gonna have big Lakers as well because they're coming to feed on these things. So I think I felt my knot for my leader on the bottom of the ice. I did.
There's your leader, buddy. So
there it is.
This is gonna be a big fish. You're severely underpowered with that rod.
Yes, I am. Look at that.
Which it's funner to catch whitefish on that rod, but you hook up to a lake trout and you got your work cut out for you. It might be a couple tries to get his head started. There's his air bubbles. He's going, man. He's not happy. Just trying to keep that
line off that ice, man.
Correct.
It's a lot of tension on there.
Yep. Okay, hold on. Come on, baby. We got to get this fish in. We got to get this fish in. This is a big one. It's a giant, dude.
This could be it.
No! No! Right at the hole. Right at the hole.
Dude.
Oh, that hurts. That was a big trout. That was a big trout.
That sucks.
Oh, that stings. I just hooked into something big. It's something big. It's not a white, I'll tell you that. I saw this fish come in like 20 feet off bottom. I reeled up to him and he hit it instantly. So I can't really lift it right now. I mean, it's a big, it's a significant fish. These big ones don't like to come up. It's so hard to get their head started, even through a 10-inch hole. But when you're like moving around, hole hopping, drilling, it's not realistic to drill 2 holes to connect them to make it bigger than 10. It's just, you just can't, right? There's too much ice. It's just, you gotta have luck on your side to get their heads started. That's the hardest part. And they have to burp. I haven't even seen a bunch of air bubbles come up yet. When these fish haven't burped, they're too horizontal. Once they burp, their tail kind of sinks down and they get more vertical, and you can get their head to come up better. I can smack. Look at this. Look at this fish. Oh my goodness. That is what it's all about. Look at that lake trout. That is an absolute dinosaur. A fish of a winter for me. That makes this whole trip. Oh my goodness. Look at that fish. That is a true creature of the deep. On a fight that I'm going to remember the rest of my life. Let's get this hook out of its mouth and get this fish back. This is a special old fish. I can't even talk. I'm so excited right now. Words can't even describe that. They can't describe that. So cool. Here comes Eric on the skidoo. He doesn't even know what he just missed. Wow. All right, that is the end of day 3. Man, time goes by fast out here. It really does. I can't believe it's already the end of the 3rd day. We were able to stumble upon some awesome whitefish and one heck of a trout, right? Like a trout of a whole year for me. And to catch that through the ice is very, very special. We're gonna kind of get settled in here. Here's kind of a little rundown on how we've been doing things. We have Eric sleeping down here next to the fire. Eric's fingers get a little cold at night, so he likes to stoke the fire at night to stay a little warm. And then on the big cot here, we kind of figured that, you know, we couldn't fit 2 cots side by side, or we could, but it's just a lot of work setting them up and taking them down. So I'm sleeping this way, Josh is sleeping this way, and it's plenty big, plenty comfortable. Like those are big cots, right? So we have our little workstation here, where, you know, reviewing some footage on our laptop. We're charging these Ion Gen 2 batteries. The power adapters are great. Like these have been running, this battery's been running our lights in here the whole time. This battery's been charging all our wireless mics. You know, they're doing fabulous. These bigger Milwaukee batteries, this one's you know, got half left. We've been powering our laptop off of this. We've been charging, you know, drone battery, Sony batteries. Like these things are absolute powerhouses. Anything that needs a plug-in, like you plug it into the wall at your house, we're charging off of this. So it's pretty cool to have that capability and to not have a generator with us, right? If you bring a generator, then you got to bring extra fuel and just everything that goes along with it. We kept that back, so it's just nice nowadays with this technology, with all these lithium batteries. You know, I've been using the same mechanical M5 Marcum on the lithium shuttle pack for 2 days now. You know, it's still running strong, right? Like that's it's pretty cool. It just really allows you and it enables you to do stuff like this, multiple day trips without having to go back to land, having to go back to civilization. We can do all this and be out here and do this for multiple days. So in terms of wood stove, you know, the past couple nights we've just been letting it run out. You know, last night with our little mishap, it did get pretty cold last night, and you know, we tried to get a fire going. That south wind blew and it's really truly smoked us out of here. So you know, tonight we might just try to, you know, zip up the sleeping bags extra tight. But let me tell you what, these Taiga sleeping bags, like they're rated for 40 below. You're not going to get cold in these. Like you can go sleep outside on a negative 30 night and zip this thing up and you're going to be warm. So, you know, they're expensive bags, but they're well worth the money. You truly stay very, very comfortable. And yeah, there's nothing worse than being cold at night. So, you know, one of these bags and you're golden. So our floor, I'm very, very happy with our floor. This Armor All kind of, you know, garage type floor mat. It's awesome. Like, it's water's not coming up. It's waterproof. It's durable. It's lightweight, and it didn't take up that much space to bring here. So I'm a big advocate of this floor that we put down. Zero complaints there at all. Like, that's rock solid. So I'm very, very happy with that. I love our table setup. Like, there's not a whole lot I would change. These lights are awesome. And yeah, everything with the wood stove, besides kind of us forgetting that end cap to block the wind, you know, we're actually doing pretty good for the first time doing this. There's not a whole lot I would change. So yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty special up here. We've seen some awesome fish, and you know, we're gonna, you know, mess around in here tonight and get stuff ready for tomorrow, and who knows what tomorrow's gonna bring. Fish. This feels like a good one. Yeah, this is a good fish. I took the Camp Cook's rod. I had one more. That's really something to keep in mind. Hey, like, I had one more fish chase me on my white tube and it wouldn't hit. And this glow tube, there's something to it. There's definitely something to it. So keep that in mind. Like, I've never seen glow outproduce white, but these Northland level head predator tubes come in white and glow, and this glow is outproducing white right now. This is truly what fishing, exploring, just putting forth the effort to get to a place like this. This is what it's all about, man. Look at that, baby. Look at that fish. Yes. That is so much fun. Look at that. Look at the big peck fins on here. That's a cool fish, man. Such a cool fish. What a memory, what an experience. Boom. Wow. Absolutely. Wow is all you can say. Hey, buddy.
Good work.
Is the Camp Chef approved?
Camp Chef approved. Breakfast is ready, buddy.
Breakfast is ready.
Let's go warm your hands up.
What do you got on the menu? Some oatmeal?
Some oatmeal.
Beautiful.
Maple brown sugar. Some Kicking Horse coffee.
I like it. Oatmeal and coffee out here in the wilderness, catching big trout like that is that's something special.
Clearly, it's the breakfast of champions.
Look
today,
at my bib, full of ice, and like our day hasn't even started. Hey.
It's still 7:30.
It's still early and I'm already covered in fish slime and ice. Here comes the fish. There he is. Sweet. That feels like a good one. That feels like a good one. On the hunt for the elusive whitefish. This is gonna be a big one. My drag's kind of frozen. This is gonna be a big one. And that's the fun part about these whitefish too, kind of like a trout. They can get 5-10 pounds. You just never know how big they can be. I grabbed my St. Croix Scandic series because we're set up on a nice break and we were graphing some whiteys right on bottom. They're being a little bit finicky, so we downsized and this one took the bait. Look at the size of this white. Look at that thing. That there is a stud of a whitefish. That's big, right? And that's what I mean, like they chase you like a trout, they fight like heck, and they're way better to eat than a trout is even. That is an absolute giant who choked that white spoon. Such a cool fish, huh? Such a cool fish. They're such a diverse fish. They can live up in 5 feet of water in the wintertime and they can be out in 200. Like you never know where they're gonna be. But you know, the good part is they're plentiful and usually no matter what depth you're fishing in, you can usually run into a couple of these guys. Wow, that is cool. That's a big whitefish, man. Very big. We're gonna keep him and cook him up. And this is just what being out here is all about. You never know what you're gonna run into. Big trout, big whitefish. Hey, you can't beat it. Just keep on fishing and something's gonna happen. Attaboy, attaboy, what do you got?
Just split seconds to react.
Isn't that crazy how fast it happens? Like an hour, 2 hours, nothing, and then boom, that mark's there, and you have about, I don't know, 5-10 seconds to make it happen, right? And if you can get them to commit, great, but a lot of times you don't. Which is heartbreaking. You know, you might not see another one for an hour or two, so.
Exactly, an hour ago I had one up and down the water column 6 times, just couldn't entice it to bite, and this one, straight up from bottom.
Right.
Started pulling it away from him and cracked it immediately. So you never really know.
Correct. It's
He's right at the hole, he's burping now.
And yes, we've been blessed with some incredible fishing right away in the mornings, but outside of that, it's tough. You have to work for them, right? But luckily we have, you know, fish like whitefish to keep us entertained, and you know, you get a rogue trout here and there with them, but. Oh yeah.
Alright. Nice one.
That is a nice trout. Look at that. That's a cool trout, hey?
Nice fish.
I think you did the right jig motion to get him to commit.
Can't even see the jig.
Crazy. That's a very nice trout.
Awesome.
Very nice trout, huh? Darker in color.
Breaks up the midday blues.
That's a fun sized fish, right? Big enough to put up a heck of a fight, and it could be good table fare for him.
He's got the nose just starting too.
Yeah, a young one. A young one. They get much better. Let's get that fish back down. But
awesome.
Man, this whitefish is looking absolutely fantastic. It smells even better. But as the sun kind of sets here on our 4th and final day, you know, it's been such a fun time out here. Just getting out here, it was a challenge starting with that nasty slush that we got into, but that was kind of the hardest part of the whole trip, right? I guess the only other hookup was the smoke coming down our chimney at 2 a.m. But other than those two things, like everything went great. We caught some absolutely fabulous, fabulous fish. You know, for me, probably the biggest trout I'll get this winter. So that's pretty special in itself right there. And, you know, just being out here, being all alone essentially, like on, you know, just in the middle of Canada is so, so cool. And to be able to camp on the spot. And, you know, that did directly help us catch a few more fish. You know, we saw that right away morning bite where we were catching lake trout still in our slippers, right? Like we weren't even ready to go for the day. You just jump outside the house and put a bait in the water, and 2 seconds later you're catching lake trout hand over fist. It's pretty cool, right? Everything with their sleeping arrangements, the tent, the flooring, everything went really good. It's pretty cool being up here and just the sights you see, the things you experience. and the fish below us is pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.